A new border wall could be coming through Big Bend. The Trump administration waived 28 federal environmental regulations to speed up construction of a new wall that would go through Big Bend State Ranch Park and the National Park. This is a look at the proposed plans for the wall. It would stretch 175 miles through the National and State Park, reaching from Hudspeth County to a remote section of the National Park. This is part of the Trump administration's Smart Wall plan, which uses funding from the so-called Big Beautiful Bill to create a border system combining steel walls, water barriers, and patrol roads and detection technology. The Big Bend Sentinel reported local landowners in Presidio County have already been contacted to lease land for physical wall construction staging areas. Brewster County Judge Greg Hennington told Marfa Public Radio he is against the border wall coming to the county, citing environmental concerns for the region. The project could move forward in the next few weeks, with the Department of Homeland Security announcing construction could be completed by 2028. New tonight on News West 9 at 10, plans for a border wall through Big Bend National Park may be put on pause. This is a look at the updated proposed plans for the border. This is from earlier tonight on the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol's Smart Wall website. Now, you can see an orange line zigzagging through the National Park, which indicates the use of detection technology only, not an actual physical wall. Border Patrol already uses detection technology in the region, including aerostats and autonomous surveillance towers. Now let's take a look at the proposed plan for a border wall from just last week. Here you can see orange and green lines. Those green lines indicated new plans for a steel barrier wall and water barriers, which would have gone right through the National Park and State Ranch Park. But now those lines are gone. All of this comes as President Trump fired Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem today, who oversaw all of Border Patrol and the new border wall plans. Noem waived 28 federal environmental protections for the region to make way for those plans, so the change in leadership could signal an end to border wall plans in Big Bend. Many people are against that border wall in the region, with local leaders campaigning against it, and a petition on change.org that now has 75,000 signatures. They argue the wall would cause irreversible damage to wildlife, water systems, and the local tourism economy. We'll update you as we learn more.
The Brewster County Commissioner's Court sending a message to Washington, citing a long list of concerns over a physical border wall in the Big Bend. Now, the court released this resolution Monday morning, saying the national and state parks are a major driver of tourism and development in the county, which could be damaged with the installation of a physical wall. They argue it would limit access to the Rio Grande and scenic views, disrupt migration, and pollute the dark skies. Commissioners acknowledge the importance of border security, but say the government should consider local impacts before making decisions like this. The court urged the government to work with local officials to find creative ways to enhance border security without disrupting the region.
This comes after Terrell County Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland encouraged folks to join a protest at the Texas Capitol on April 4th to push back against border wall construction in the area.
Tonight, the Alpine mayor says more people are joining the fight against a border wall in the region. She says some Big Bend Border Patrol agents are against a physical wall, saying they're concerned about environmental and economic impacts. Border Patrol agents held a meeting with city and county officials outlining key updates in the proposed plans. Alpine Mayor Catherine Eves says although some plans may be changing, government contractors are still scouting the area for development. She added a physical wall needs maintaining and manpower, which would increase responsibility for taxpayers, while the tourism sector could take a hit. Eves goes on to say some agents say some physical walls are still going up. That includes a wall between Presidio and Sierra Blanca and Colorado Canyon at the boat ramp, which will cut off the Hoodoo Trail. But according to Eves, some agents say there will be no floating barrier in the river. She adds border crossings in the region are down by 20 to 25%, and that some agents are advocating for technology like infrared lights, drones, and aerostats. Eve said some Border Patrol officials are urging folks to continue to sign the petitions and to focus arguments on the impacts to the economy. There's been another quiet change to the Big Bend border wall plans. A physical wall will no longer go through the state park, but plans are moving forward for one in Presidio. Let's take a look at the new plans. This map shows a section highlighted in purple that stretches from Colorado Canyon in the state ranch all the way to El Paso. That means the federal government has awarded contracts to developers to begin designing and construction of a physical wall. This all comes after a meeting between the Big Bend sector Border Patrol agents and local leaders this past Friday. Agents confirmed there will be no wall on the state ranch and told Marfa Public Radio that it may take a few days for the website to update. Presidio County Commissioner Deidre Hissler told the Big Bend Sentinel that officials were told a 30-foot high steel wall could begin construction as early as June and will be part of a system that includes weather patrol roads, lighting, cameras, and sensors. Two nonprofits are suing Customs and Border Protection over a lack of transparency on border wall construction through the Big Bend. The Center for Biological Diversity and Texas Civil Rights Project claims Customs and Border Protection are withholding records and violating the Freedom of Information Act. The nonprofits say they requested contracts, construction, and planning records on March 6th, but still have not received a response. Federal agencies are legally required to respond within 20 business days. They also cited a federal report showing a decrease in border crossings in the region, arguing they are seeking records to justify a wall in the area. They say these plans are a government overreach. In a statement, leaders with the Center for Biological Diversity say the lawsuit aims to increase transparency between citizens and the government as quiet changes to the plans continue, saying, quote, the federal government needs to stop hiding information from people and stop this widely unpopular, destructive wall before irreversible damage is done, end quote. For the leaders of just Davis County, the debate over a new border wall isn't just about security, it's about the survival of the high desert ecosystem. But it all comes down to one road. Chispa Road is just west of Valentine, Texas, and it takes you from Highway 90 straight to the border. Federal contractors are offering free road repairs to help move construction forward, but County Judge Curtis Evans and commissioners are weighing that against the potential for permanent damage. They say once this landscape is altered by a steel barrier, there's no going back.
The border security is very important to us, but destructing this ecology that is in this desert it's invaluable, and their destruction by placing a wall here would forever change it. It would be a disaster.
The county has opted to table any agreements for now as they look for ways to secure the border without disrupting the natural environment. The Center for Biological Diversity is suing the Department of Homeland Security again, this time with the Friends of Ruidoso Church and a local land river guide and landowner. In the lawsuit filed today, they claim the DHS waiving laws to speed up border wall plans in the Big Bend area is unconstitutional. In the 38-page lawsuit, the center argues DHS violated the Major Questions Doctrine by not asking for congressional approval before making actions with large economic and political consequences. Both lawsuits from the center also challenge the justification for a wall, which they say contradicts Border Patrol reports of record low crossings. Kristi Noem, the then Secretary of Homeland Security, signed off on the waivers, but her successor, Secretary Mullen, is listed as a defendant in the suit. One local river guide and landowner is also joining the suit against the border wall, and he says a wall would wipe out their ways of life and end their careers.